Hey everyone, today we need to talk about something that just happened in Washington, quietly, without headlines screaming about it, but the impact is about to hit millions of people right in their monthly budget. If you buy your own health insurance, not through a job, not through Medicare, not through Medicaid, then this affects you directly, and I want you to listen carefully because for many people this is not a small change, this is a financial shock. Congress just left town for the holidays, and before they left, they did not extend the enhanced ACA tax credits that have been keeping health insurance affordable for years. These are the extra subsidies that helped more than 20 million Americans pay their monthly premiums. And for a lot of households, this wasn't extra help. This was the only reason they could afford insurance at all. Before we go any further, take 1 second and subscribe to this channel. I post updates like this because these programs are not simple, and missing one small detail can cost you real money. Subscribing helps you stay informed without stress. Now, starting January 1st, those enhanced credits are gone. No extension, no temporary bridge, no last-minute fix. If you've already received your new premium notice for the coming year, you may have opened it and felt your stomach drop. Because the numbers don't just creep up, for many people they jump. I've been covering government benefits, assistance programs, and cost of living pressure for a long time. And this deadline was not a surprise. Everyone in Washington knew it was coming. The problem wasn't awareness, it was disagreement. And when lawmakers couldn't agree, they left anyway. So now, the consequences land on regular people. Let's break down what actually changed, because the headlines don't always explain it clearly. For the past few years, people who bought insurance through the ACA marketplace received enhanced tax credits. These credits lowered monthly premiums, expanded eligibility, and removed the old subsidy cliff that cut people off if they earned just a little too much. The result? Premiums went down, enrollment went up. The uninsured rate dropped to some of the lowest levels in years. This mattered especially for older adults not yet eligible for Medicare, self-employed workers, gig workers, early retirees, people with moderate incomes who didn't qualify for Medicaid. For many of them, the ACA marketplace finally worked. Then Congress failed to renew the credits. As of January 1st, the enhanced subsidies expired automatically. And I want to be very clear about this. This was not some hidden technical glitch. This was a known deadline that simply passed. Now the question everyone asks is, what does this actually mean for me in real dollars? And this is where things get uncomfortable. Some people are seeing premium increases of $50 or $100 a month. Others are seeing $150 or $200 more. But there are households facing something far worse. For people who lose subsidies entirely, monthly premiums can jump by $800, $1,000, or even more. That's not exaggeration, that's math. And when insurance costs that much, people don't adjust their budget. They make a different choice. They drop coverage. Analysts estimate that 2 to 5 million people could lose health insurance because of this change. Not because they don't want coverage, but because they simply can't afford it anymore. I recently read about a couple who started a small nonprofit. Under the enhanced credits, one of them paid $0 a month for health insurance. $0. Now, the cheapest plan costs more than they can manage. Their plan is to go uninsured and hope they stay healthy. That's not a political statement. That's a survival decision. And this is not a rare story. This is about to become common. I see comments all the time from people saying, I did everything right. I worked, I saved, I followed the rules, and I still can't afford healthcare. That frustration is real, and it highlights how fragile coverage becomes when it depends on temporary policy decisions. This doesn't just affect individuals, it affects the entire healthcare system. When people lose insurance, they delay care. They skip medications. They avoid doctors until problems become emergencies. Community health centres expect more demand. Charities that provide discounted medications are already preparing for higher need. Rural hospitals, many of which are already struggling, could see more unpaid bills, and that pressure doesn't stay isolated. It affects staffing, wait times, and costs for everyone. And this situation hits harder in certain states. States that never expanded Medicaid already had a coverage gap. Low-income adults in those states often don't qualify for Medicaid and now won't be able to afford marketplace plans either. Experts warn uninsured rates in some of those states could jump 50% or more. That's massive. And all of this is happening quietly while Congress is out of town. Now let's talk about how we got here, calmly, clearly, and without shouting. Democrats pushed to extend the enhanced ACA tax credits. They argued that the subsidies worked, reduced uninsured rates, and protected families from rising costs. Republicans, who currently control Congress, did not agree to extend the credits in their current form. Many argue the subsidies are too expensive and that they prop up a healthcare system they see as fundamentally flawed. Instead, they favor approaches like health savings accounts, high deductible plans, and more consumer responsibility in health spending. But here's something important. Even within the Republican Party, there wasn't total agreement. Some lawmakers from competitive districts openly warned that letting the credits expire would hurt their constituents. A few even broke with party leadership to push for a vote. That's rare, and it shows how real the concern was. Still, leadership did not move. Earlier this year, President Trump signed a major tax and spending package, often referred to as the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. That legislation extended tax cuts and made changes to programs like Medicaid and SNAP, but it did not extend the ACA tax credits. The administration has largely stayed quiet on this issue, emphasizing market-based healthcare ideas instead. Some advisors reportedly worry about political fallout. Others believe staying firm aligns with long-held conservative goals. For now, the White House appears content to let Congress handle it. Meanwhile, real people are sitting at kitchen tables, doing math, and making hard decisions. So, what happens next? In the short term, it's messy. Open enrollment already happened. Some people chose plans based on prices that no longer apply. Others dropped coverage after seeing their new premiums. Even if Congress passes something later, the gap in coverage and the stress is real right now. There may be votes when Congress returns. There could be attempts to retroactively restore subsidies, but there are no guarantees. Longer term, this issue isn't going away. Healthcare consistently ranks as one of the top concerns for voters. Polls show that most Americans support extending the ACA tax credits. Whether lawmakers act on that support remains to be seen. And this isn't just about Obamacare. Employer-based plans are expensive. Medicare faces long-term funding challenges. Medicaid budgets are under pressure. This is a system-wide problem. The ACA credits were one of the few tools that directly lowered monthly costs for people buying insurance on their own. And now that tool is gone. If you're watching this and wondering what you can actually do right now, here are some realistic steps. First, if you have marketplace insurance, review your plan carefully. Sometimes updating income information or switching plans can reduce costs slightly, even without enhanced credits. Second, if you're considering dropping coverage, look into community health centers in your area. They often offer care on a sliding scale based on income. It's not perfect, but it's better than having no access at all. Third, stay informed. Policy changes can happen quickly, and being aware gives you at least some ability to respond. And I want to say something personal here. Healthcare stress is one of the most emotionally exhausting kinds of stress there is. It combines money, health, and fear about the future. If you're feeling anxious, frustrated, or angry about this situation, that reaction makes sense. You are not overreacting. Millions of people are facing the same uncertainty right now. You are not alone, even when it feels that way. If this issue affects you, leave a comment. Share what state you're in, how much your premium increased, and what you're planning to do. Sometimes knowing others are dealing with the same thing makes it a little easier to carry. And if you want clear, calm updates on what happens next, subscribe to the channel. I'll continue covering this story, and if Congress takes action when they return, you'll hear about it here. Take care of yourself, check your numbers, and stay informed.